right. I'm very excited to welcome into the show today Sonny Dinsa and Jisim Salmani, formerly authors of Pain in WWE, now Legion of Pain in their very own wrestling promotion, WES, Wrestling Entertainment Series. Guys, it's a blast to have you here. Thrilled to chat. Welcome on in.
Thank you, man.
Thanks for having us, brother. Happy to be here.
Yeah, well, so you guys got one or two things going on.
Yeah, quite a bit, to be honest.
Yeah. Tell me about how WES came to be. Like, why start a wrestling promotion right now? Sonny, I'll throw to you first on that one.
Well, honestly, it just it's more so Gazim. It was his brainchild to begin with. He wanted to, when we left WWE, like we thought we were done. Nobody was really feeling me for sure, and Gazim somewhat the same way. We both didn't really want to wrestle anymore. We just wanted to take care of our families and be home. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And but the thing is, like, when you start working out and you start feeling good, and you look in the mirror, like, man, there's not many people can do what we do. You know what I mean? So it's like that's why but he at the same time he felt like no promotion or no organization is big enough where we'll feel happy again. You know what I mean? So why not start your own? And that's basically as simple as it gets. Like, and we were blessed to be in the position we are. And we're doing our own thing.
That's great. Gazim, were you guys kind of like on the same page from the beginning in terms of wanting to start the promotion, or did one of you have to kind of pull the other one along?
We're always on the same page, man. No matter what it is. Like, no matter what it is. Even if I don't want to do something, I'm doing it. It doesn't matter. Okay. And it's vice versa. We're always on the same page.
Exactly. No, we both are enjoying this road, and it like Sonny said, right? Like, once we left WWE, we just want to take care of our families, take some time off. So we got a lot of inquiries and stuff like that from promoters and people in the business, and we just, not that we were done with it. It was just like we needed some time off, right? We've been really Sonny's from Canada, I'm from the Netherlands. And we both were a long way from home when we were in the States, when we were with WWE, NXT, everything. So we were like gone for like 7 years, and we saw our families maybe once a year, right? Wow. So we were on the road nonstop, 4 or 5 days a week. We've been killing it, and we just felt like we needed some time off, and just brainstorming together. We created our NFT project, Bullet Planet, and just from there, right, like getting engaged with the community again, the wrestling community. We're just bombarded with the questions. Why aren't you guys coming back to wrestling? Why aren't you coming back to wrestling? And for us at this time, like, we felt like if we're gonna come back, it's gonna be something big. It's gonna be something special, but it's also gonna be something that's ours, our way. Together with Paul Ellering, no one that's going to stop us from being together. A complete new, still same old AOP, like, that you've been used to, brutal, barbaric, but in a different way, a little bit our way, the way we wanted it.
So let me ask, because I'm interested in that. So, like, when you leave WWE, you take some time at home, and you, as you mentioned, you have a lot of offers coming in to feel like, hey, maybe we'll go work this show or work that show. I mean, how do you guys as a team break that down and kind of say, all right, you know what? Like, we're not interested in any of that. We're going to go our own direction. Like, what do you weigh together when you're making those kind of business decisions?
Honestly, it's been pretty simple, man. Like, if one of us says something, usually the other one's thinking it. It's weird. Like, I can't really explain it. Like, if Gazim has an idea and somehow he puts it out there in the air, and I go, yeah, man, I was thinking about that the other day, and it's just like that, and it's the same decision. So no decisions have ever really been super hard for us because we've been on the same page, and if we don't like something, we usually both don't like something. So it's so in that aspect, it's been pretty easy. You know.
Yeah.
Do you guys communicate regularly, like when an
Every
offer
day.
to work an independent show every day? Okay,
Oh, yeah, every day.
We talk every day. Yeah. It's
excellent.
not about just show, it's just about business and life and families. Our families are in touch. We're in touch like at all times.
Excellent. So how's it been running a promotion as opposed to working, for a promotion? Like, you guys have a lot of obviously the in-ring, you know what you're doing there for sure, but now you have to balance talent and, booking and all sorts of different parts of running a promotion. How has that been, and how does that differ from your day-to-day?
It's been crazy, man. It's been very busy. A lot of work. I'll tell you that. We're lucky to have a big team here. We Our first plan was to do the show in Dubai, but because of some things that happened there with the royal family, like we felt like it's better to respectfully cancel the show there due to some things that happened, and come back at a later time this year, back to Dubai, and give the UAE fans a show as well. So it was for us last second, finding an arena, finding a venue. Of course, like we were looking in Germany, we were looking in the UK. We wanted to stay kind of away from the US. Of course, our future plans, our future goals is to come also to the US. But for now, we wanted to give like the fans here in Europe and UAE, like focus on those markets, focus on those fans. So yeah, we were very fortunate to find this arena, Motorpoint Arena in Nottingham. So yeah, everything went very fast. Of course, when you hire an arena, there's nothing in there. It's just an empty dry arena.
Right.
So you got to
Right.
think about the lights, you got to think about the staging, LED screens, new sound, ring, everything. And we had everything ready in Dubai. We were like ready to go. Everything was like finished. So it was like just switching around. Once that news came out, we just switched around, found a new location, shipped stuff here, made stuff all over again here in Europe, and it's just from one thing to another. We just banged it out, and business gotta go, gotta continue. Fans want to see it. Fans are very excited. We think we have a stacked card. It's been a lot of work, even to just get this card ready. Like, a lot of people are wondering and questioning, like, is this real? Is this really gonna happen? Are those people really gonna show up, man? And it's been crazy. It's of course, like, we were good with all the people that are on the card. Like, we were good with them. We're very fortunate that we had to have a good relationship with them as well. And yeah, we just want to give something to the fans that they haven't seen before.
How did you guys go about trying to decide what talent you wanted to pursue to work the show? Did you guys do that on your own, or did you have someone else helping you out?
We have a full team, right? There's a lot of people helping us out. Everyone has ideas, and it just, like, the biggest thing with this was we just wanted to give the basically the originally Middle East fans and European fans that in-house feeling of, hey, wow, these stars are here. You know what I mean? In this promotion, yeah, WWE or other companies, they do tours, but this is gonna be something special because it's gonna be something like, it's going to be on everyone's level. You know what I mean? Everyone's going to be able to, they're approachable. You know what I mean? That's the biggest thing. And that's what, like, that was the main thing. And every person we talked to, they're like, oh, this is a great idea. This is a great idea. So, like, there's probably a list of talent that I feel bad that we weren't able to get involved in this first show, right? Because they're so excited about it and they want to do it, because it's so different, and like everyone's like going to have a blast, and we're going to actually enjoy what we do. You know what I mean? So, and the future cards, I'm hoping to get everybody that reached out to us on these cards and into these shows so we can get even bigger. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, I would like to just pivot for a bit to your time in WWE. You guys had a really great run in NXT. What's one of the things that you learned most as Authors of Pain in NXT? We'll get to the main roster run here in a minute, but you guys had a dominant run. You're working with Paul Ellering. You're having some killer matches. Just talk about your time there, and kind of the evolution that you guys had as performers throughout your stay on that brand.
Well, it was honestly, it was a blessing. Like we were picking up everything quick because we were in-house talent, right? We learned everything in the WWE. We didn't wrestle in the indies. We didn't do pro wrestling prior to WWE. And when we signed, me and Zim both signed. He was fighting MMA and I was wrestling amateur, right? And we're all doing that at a very high level. Like I was competing internationally. He was in Bellator, and we were all doing that at a higher level. And we switched over. And honestly, when we started picking it up, the biggest thing for us was like, what's next? What's next? Because there was a void at the time, like, because I believe Revival at the time, FTR now, they're leaving to the main roster, and they're like, oh, what tag team what tag team will be able to take over, fill those shoes, and like I feel like we filled those shoes and some. You know what I mean? We were main eventing shows, and we held our own. And I think we did 10 or 11 takeovers, me and Zim, and every match was better than the last. And we were very fortunate to work with Mr. Ellering, and we're in touch with Mr. Ellering every single day. And the whole process of NXT was a beautiful process. Me and Zim both, we cherished that, and we enjoyed every minute of it.
Definitely.
What about your most, not necessarily your favorite match, but was there a point in time from your in-ring work perspective where you're like, okay, it's clicking, you can kind of feel it coming together?
There was this one match, I think it was a televised match, and because our first ever big match was against TM61.
Okay.
And TMDK, I think they called them the Indies. And that was in TakeOver Toronto. I think me and Zim only had 6 matches ever before we went on live TV on pay-per-view there. And then fast forward 2 years later, or a year and a half, 2 years later, we wrestled TM61, and in Atlanta, we were doing tapings. We wrestled them on TV, and we called the whole thing, and we were very confident, and like we were doing things that they had to follow us, you know what I mean? Because they have 15 plus years each, right? And when we came to the back, Hunter goes, "You guys get it now." And so that night, me and Gizem both, we get it. You know what I mean? That was I think that was the one match, right, Gizem? What do you think?
Definitely, yeah. And we had some crazy matches with them on TV, man, on NXT.
Yeah.
Like, if you go looking back, like, we had some crazy matches with them.
Yeah, on just TV instead of just takeovers, because I know people remember our takeover matches, but just the matches that we had on the Wednesday nights, there's some special ones on there.
Yeah.
When you guys say like, "Hey, we got it," what? I'm just interested to hear, like, what does that mean? Is it like your timing, or is it, hey, what you're looking for in a crowd response, or you're just feeling the chemistry with your opponent? All of it?
It means everything. It means everything. The TV angles, the crowd, the moves, the timing, the entrance, the facials, you name it. It's everything.
Yeah. And
that's when you don't gotta think anymore. When you don't gotta think anymore in the ring, you're flowing.
Yeah. And when you come to the back, everybody's just happy. And like there's no mistakes been made, and everything went fluently, went good. You have it, right?
Yeah. So then you guys go to the main roster and you do some good things up there. You win the Raw Tag Team Championships. You don't have Paul Ellering like you did in NXT. You mentioned it a little bit, Gizem, the difference between being in NXT and being on the main roster in terms of just being on the road as much as you were. Were there any like stark differences for you guys as far as how you handled your business in NXT and then how you handled it up on the main roster?
No, I don't think it was much of a difference. Of course, you're on the road way more, and the shows are way bigger, stuff like that. But for me and Sonny, it was almost like we've been doing it like for 10 years prior, right? Like it went very fluently. It was easy for us to transition to the main roster. We don't think like we had any problems with that. It was very easy for us. Of course, we were doing our own thing before NXT as well, right? Like Sonny was doing big stadiums with Olympic wrestling, and I was doing big stadiums with MMA fights. I was main eventing fights as well in big arenas. So like we've been doing this like since we were 17, 16 years old, right? Professionally. And so yeah, it was for us. It's always been like something that we're used to. But of course, WWE is a whole different ballgame than anything else. You're on the road 4 or 5 days a week, sometimes even like 10, 15 if you're like doing European tours, coming back to the States. Same day you have another TV taping. Like it's crazy. Like you're on the road a lot. But we enjoyed it. We enjoyed every minute of it. Of course, if Sonny wouldn't have been there, like I don't know if I would have done it, but I think same goes for him. We had a good time on the road, and we made a lot of good friends. Most of the friends you see on the car right now with the Wrestling Entertainment Series, and yeah, it was a good time, man. It was a good time.
Do you guys, look? You mentioned you look back fondly on your time in WWE. Was there a moment on the main roster in the ring similar to the one you had in NXT where it's like, okay, we get it now here on the main roster? Or is NXT at that time so connected with how business is done and production is done on Monday Night Raw that it wasn't even that big of a transition from a work perspective?
It's not. That's the whole point of NXT. You know, you're doing it how you're supposed to be doing it, right? Like there's no difference when it comes to in-ring work. Like it's the same. Like it's once you get it, that's when you go up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so there was no real difference like that.
Yeah, Hunter was really good at that as well. Like he knew when somebody was ready to go to the main roster, and he wouldn't let anybody go like to the main roster if he knew they're not ready. I don't know how it's now, but like in the time we were in NXT, he was like he was on top of everyone. Like he was on top of everyone, checking everybody's match. Like he was in the back, like always setting every match up, producing every match almost. Like he was on top of everything, and he did a really, really good job in NXT that time.
What was it like to work with Seth Rollins?
It's cool, man. Seth's a cool dude. We learned lots. It's like I said, that's another tier, right? That's another tier of excellence. When you come, there's certain tiers, and then that's the pinnacle. That's the top right there. Him, Roman, and the short time we got to work with all those guys, it was awesome. Like every day you learn something. You know what I mean? And me and Kazem, we're students of the game, whatever game it is. You know what I mean? When we played our own games, we're the students of that. And this is a game, we're all ears, you know. We listen to everybody, we figure out what's best for us, and that's what we do. So it was awesome working with us, and I'm sure he feels the same way working with us because there's no difficulty. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you guys really, I thought, kind of just gelled nicely with that act, and like, I think you guys played a prominent part in establishing him, and then he was able to help establish you guys too. It was a really like
absolutely
synergistic group.
Well, it was like before we got with Seth Rollins, right? Like it was kind of also Paul Heyman's idea. Like we had a time that we weren't booked really a lot, like on TV, and during that time, the writers just like felt like we can't just put them out there and waste them on matches. You know, they wanted to keep it special. They knew they had good things in their hands. So they kind of left it to Paul Heyman, like, to sort out what to do with us. And Paul just said, we're going to just change 360, right? We're going to put some suits on. We're going to put some interviews on TV, and let's see where it goes from there. And those interviews kind of helped us get melted into, like, the role we had with Seth Rollins. And I think it made a lot of sense for us, not just because the role we have, but also the way we look, the way we talk in our native languages, the way we can come over on television. I think it melted really good together, and I think it could have gone very far. Of course, like I got injured. I tore my bicep completely off my elbow bone, and I still healed really quick though. I was like back in the gym in 3-4 months, and I was cleared after like 4.5 months. Like even faster, I think 4 months.
Yeah.
It was just their decision not to put us together anymore. And yeah, unfortunately, I think it could have gone very far with that role.
What do you guys do when you're when like as a team together when you're not booked on TV as much as maybe you'd like to be? Is it do you guys kind of coach each other up and just say, hey, be patient, you know, or is it more of an aggressive approach? Like, okay, who do we need to talk to? How do we, you know, what's that process like as a team? Because you guys are in business together.
Honestly, it's like I said, me and Zim are on the same team. We just, it's we day by day. Like some people freak out. Oh, we're not on today. Blah blah blah. We just be like, okay, man, let's just eat. We'll go work out. You know, like it's not that serious, right? But at some point, you got to be like you talk to who you got to talk to and tell them, hey, man, we're here to work. What's up? And that's how we always dealt with it. It wasn't like we weren't like falling down in the slums or anything like that. No, we just took it like, hey man, let's just go work out.
We're very fortunate for Paul Heyman. Like he really took us under his wing at that time. Like he really took us under his wing, and I think that guy is just so smart, so creative, and we thank him a lot for like that time, like when we were off TV for a little bit. Yeah, that he helped us out there.
Yeah, man, you hear that so much about Paul Heyman. What is it about the way he works with talent or just backstage in general that makes him so effective across the board? Because you never hear Paul Heyman messed my character up, right? Like he enhances a lot that he touches. Can you guys pinpoint like specific?
He's a genius. He's like Elon Musk of electric cars. You know what I mean? That's who Paul Heyman is of professional wrestling. Like that's his thing. Like of all aspects of it, from the talent, from the rest in ring, from the talking, everything. He gets it. He gets the whole thing, and that's just what it is. Right? He's just a genius.
And he's crazy. He has like 3-4 phones. They're all going off at the same time. He's still telling like 3-4 writers to write down 3-4 promos for 3-4 different talent, and then he's like, me and Sonny are just sitting next to him. He's telling us what to say, what he wants to see in the promo. Like it's crazy. He does like 20-30 things at the same time. Like it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
And did he produce you guys as well?
Oh, definitely. Like, all the promos we had on TV, like who's AOP promos, we did like I think like 8-9 of them, and even like with Seth Rollins, the beginning stage of Seth Rollins, like. He was hands-on producing everything. He was there, like behind the camera. He was there, like before the promos, like writing it down, like telling the writers what to write down and what they wanted, what he wanted.
The whole process.
The whole process. Yeah.
Wow. Are there any misconceptions about what it's like to work in WWE, where that? Because the road life is what it is. Less so during the pandemic, of course, but now coming back. And you hear news and reports come in about like just backstages can be very chaotic on TV days.
Honestly, honestly, Zach, it's with any job. You know what I mean? Like it's how you handle it. Like how me and Zim handle ourselves is totally different from how another superstar is gonna handle themselves. You know what I mean? So like it's what you make of it, right? And there's different environments and different job fields all across the board. And yes, it could be a lot of chaotic, and it could be really simple. Like me and Zim, like we had our set schedule. We knew what we needed to do. We needed to work out. We needed to eat. And we needed to show up to the show. That was it. We knew we needed to do that. There's no extracurricular activities we were doing, right? So we kept it very simple, right? Whereas you can go sightseeing. You can add all kinds of like bumps in the road to make it harder on yourself. You know what I mean? So it's truly on the superstar of how they want to make it. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah, interesting. All right, so back to WWES for a second. You guys got the big first show coming up on June 4th. What you mentioned a little bit about future goals and future plans to come to the States, but what else does the future look like for you for that promotion? Do you have any like other short-term or long-term goals in mind for it?
We just want to set up great shows. First of all right. Like, of course, now we're doing the pay-per-view. Of course, like in the future, we're looking to target markets where wrestling just isn't like a very big thing, right? So we're looking at the Middle East market. We really want to bring wrestling like to a point where it is like how they see soccer, right? Like as something huge, like in the United States, right? Like WWE and wrestling there is like big time. It's there you have a couple of wrestling shows on TV there, and of course, long-term goals. We want to get TV deals. We're not going anywhere. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep doing these shows. Hopefully, everything goes well. We're sure it will. We're still bringing also something new to the table here, right? Like once you see the pay-per-view, you'll know what we mean. It's we're doing something different, and I think a lot of fans will appreciate it. It brings something new to the sport and to the business, and I think yeah, a lot of fans will appreciate it. A lot of fans will be excited, I think, and yeah, we're ourselves are very, very excited to finally start. It's almost June 4th is around the corner, and
Sure is.
yeah, we can't wait, man. It's gonna be something special. It's gonna be something special.
Great stuff. Will fans be seeing the Legion of Pain on the independent circuit at all in the States, or are you guys just going to stick to WBS?
Like never say never, but like WES is where you guys gonna see us live on Fight TV June 4th, Nottingham. You know, let's start there, right? We don't try to think too far. We go one show at a time. So June 4th, 100% we'll be there. So
yeah.
Awesome. Well, guys, thank you so much. Make sure everybody checks out WES on Fight TV June 4th. Guys, any other final plugs that you want to make for the show or social media or tickets? You know, just have at it.
Yeah. Tickets still on sale. Motorpointarena.com, Nottingham, and we'll be live on pay-per-view on Fight TV June 4th. I think it will be 2:30 p.m. Eastern time, because we're on UK time there. And yeah, Overeem versus Cher. It's going to be, I think, one of the biggest matches in wrestling history, maybe. You know, like Alistair Overeem, huge K1 champion, huge Strikeforce champion, big legend, future UFC Hall of Famer. And of course, Braun Strowman, a big name from the WWE, also future WWE Hall of Famer. So they're going to collide the titans, right? It's going to be something special. It's going to be something you haven't seen before, I think. And yeah, we're very excited. So I think a lot of fans are very excited as well. So yeah, June 4th, Fight TV.
There you have it. Guys, thanks very much. I really appreciate the time. Good luck. And hopefully we can do this again soon down the road.
Absolutely.